Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm sharing how to use Infusible ink markers on the Cricut t-shirt blanks. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you are new to my channel, and let's get into the tutorial. First, I'm going to grab the two SVGs that I'm going to be using. So I'll go over to my uploads, and I uploaded these a little while ago, so I am going to look for them. I am going to use this one and this one here, so I'll hit insert image. These images are a part of my Patreon group. If you are new to my channel, I have a membership. It's totally optional, but it's just a way to support my channel, and with that you will receive SVG images, and you can use these images for personal or commercial use. So if you sell your items, you can use these images on items that you sell, and we're up to over 200 images now, and there's new ones each month. So if you want to find out some more info with that, then I will have a link down below in my description box, and I always appreciate your support. I also have a Facebook group as well that goes along with the membership. First, what I'm going to do with both of these images is size it. I'm putting both of them on a small youth Cricut shirt. It's the shirts that are compatible with Infusible ink. For a small youth shirt, I usually make it around 7 to 7.5 inches. So what I'm going to do, because this one's wider, I will probably make this one 7.5 inches. And this one is longer, so I decided I'm going to make it 7 inches. Normally when I size designs for shirts, I go with the width, then I'll let it automatically adjust for the height, and after that I just take a measuring tape and measure how long that'll be on the shirt just to make sure that it'll look okay. So I'm going to be using Infusible ink pens for this. First, I'm just going to work with this image. What I want to do now is go up to my line type up in the left corner. I'll select the drop down and select draw. One thing with this is it doesn't have a line drawing it around the clover, but I am just going to be coloring this part black. So I'm just going to try to draw the line myself and see how it turns out. And with Infusible ink, it's going to draw just the outline of this. It'll look just like this. So you'll have to color it in. And I've already decided the colors that I want to do. I'm going to do a darker green on the outside. Then I'm going to do the black inside for the animal print. And these little spots on the inside, I'm going to do a lighter green. Then I'm going to do a light green on the inside of this 4-leaf clover. I decided that I wanted to use my black Infusible ink marker just to outline this and have the Cricut draw it out that way. Then I'll just color it in with those colors that I mentioned. I'm going to go back up to my square, and it automatically puts it as black. I'm going to scroll down and change it to black Infusible ink. I honestly don't know if it matters to have that selected, but I am just going to keep it selected at that. And the last thing I need to do for this is attach it. There are several layers with this SVG. Right now it's grouped together, but it needs to be attached. So I am going to select that at the bottom right corner, and that'll keep the whole design together. Now I'm going to go over to this design. I'm going to go up to here again and select draw. I actually tested this out before this video, and I have the Infusible ink markers, and it made like the inside of these letters it filled it in. So I didn't really like the way it looked. If I had the Infusible ink pens, then I probably would have used those. So what I'm going to do is delete the happy-go-lucky. I'm going to go up to here and select ungroup. Then I am going to select this and just delete it. As you can see, it's 3 different layers. Each word is separate. So I just like to highlight over it, then I'll hit delete. Now I am going to highlight over this whole thing. Since it has 4 different layers, I need to attach this as well. So I will select attach, and I'll go up to here and I will select the black Infusible ink again. For this image, I'm going to use a darker green, then I'm going to use a pink, then a lighter green, and I'm going to do a mixture of 2 different greens for the clover. You don't have to do the black outline like I'm going to do, and actually let me detach this so I can show you. You can actually just have it color with the actual pens. So I am going to scroll down, and the dark green is actually called bright green that I'm using. So you can select that, and I'm using the fuchsia pink. You can go in and change the other colors as well, and it would just color with the actual pen, but I'm having it outline with the black. If you do decide to have it use the colors, you'll want to attach this as well too. But I'm going to bring it back to how I had it before. Now I need to attach this again. Now I'm ready to click on Make It. It puts both of these images on the same mat, but we're going to be using laser copy paper, and I need to change the material size. It automatically comes up with 12 by 12, but I am using an 8.5 by 11. So that will just bring it onto 2 different pages. You'll also want to mirror your design for the infusible ink, so I'm going to come over here and select mirror. Then I'll just hit continue. For the base material, I'm using copy paper, so I'll just select that. It's not going to be cutting, so I don't even know if it matters what material you set it to, but I'll just set it to copy paper just in case. Then it'll tell me to load my black infusible ink pen. Here's my black infusible ink marker that I'm going to be putting into my Cricut machine. I place the marker in clamp A. When you place it into the machine, you'll want to hear a little click just to make sure it's down far enough. I'm using my blue Cricut mat and laser copy paper. Cricut recommends laser copy paper because it can handle the heat better, and it also has less chance of ink from bleeding. Then I load the mat into the machine and it'll draw out the design. I don't know why, but I love watching the Cricut draw. I think it is just really fun. I like to bend the mat backwards to remove the paper. This will prevent your paper from bending. Then I follow the same process for the next design, but for this one, I wish I had the infusible ink pen instead of the marker. The animal print would have turned out a little bit nicer with that, I think. Here's the 3 infusible ink markers that I'm going to be using to color in the design. Here is a fun part for me, even though it did take me a little bit longer than I thought it would to color it all in, but here's a sped up version of it. Also, let me know what you've made with infusible ink pens. I forget about the pens a lot, and you can get pretty creative with them. And like I said earlier, I wish I had the black pen for the animal print pattern. Some of the middle part of it had to get all the way filled in with black, and I wanted a little bit more of the light neon green in there. I set my easy press to 385 degrees for 40 seconds. I always check Cricut's heat guide to find out what to set it to. Here's the shirt I'm using. I bought this one from Michael's, but sometimes you can find an even better price on Amazon or the Cricut website, so I'll just link those in the description box. I place the shirt on my easy press mat and place white cardstock inside the shirt. You'll want to do this to prevent any ink from going through onto the back of the shirt. Next, I run a lint roller over the shirt. You'll want to remove anything that could prevent the ink from transferring. There's a lot of steps to infusible ink, so I think I'll leave the steps in the description box if that helps as well. Then I place butcher paper on top. This comes with the infusible ink transfer sheets if you buy those, so I already had a stock of butcher paper from that. Then I place my easy press on top. You'll want to preheat the shirt for 15 seconds. I decided to cut the excess sheet of paper away from my design. You don't have to do this, it's totally up to you. Next, I place my design face down. I just eyeballed it since I'm making this shirt for my daughter. If I was making it for someone else, then I probably would have measured it a little bit better. I place heat-resistant tape over the paper. You want to make sure it's securely in place. You'll also want to make sure the tape isn't overlapping on any part of the design. This tape I'm using is from Cricut, but you can use any heat-resistant tape. Then you'll want to place the butcher paper back on top and place your easy press or heat press on top of that. You'll want to keep the easy press in the same spot. You don't want to move it around. And I also wanted to mention, I get a lot of questions if you can use parchment paper instead of butcher paper, but for infusible ink, you will want to use butcher paper. Now you can remove the butcher paper. You don't want to reuse this part because it has the ink on it. Now you can also remove the tape and copy paper while it's still warm, and look how pretty this turned out. I totally forgot how vibrant and bright these colors turn out. The colors are just so pretty. Next, I follow the exact same process for the other shirt. And here's how the second one turned out. Here's how both of the t-shirts look side by side. I love how these turned out. They were so fun to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing if you are new to my channel, and don't forget to check out my Patreon account in the description below if you would like to check out my membership.